Hi, I wanted to talk about this pullback that we're going through right now in silver. A lot of people are selling out of their positions right now, or they're thinking they bought in at the wrong time. And I just wanted to show you some of the history of this. First of all, silver is a roller coaster, and I said in my book that it's a wild ride. And if you don't have the tolerance for it, don't get into it. It's a roller coaster of a ride. But this is the entire bull market of silver, and what you've got to look at here is the trend. And this pullback that we're going through, this has all happened before. Here there was a major drop from 850 down into the high fours, and then it goes up to about 15 and drops again to like 9, up to 21, down to $9. So silver is a roller coaster, but you've got to look at the average trend, you have to look at the supply-demand fundamentals, and you've got to look at how much silver is there on the exchanges and in the dealers for investors to buy compared to gold, and where is the dollar going ultimately. If you look in my book, you'll see that there's a very, very detailed analysis, and one of the conclusions that I come to is there is no scenario in which gold and silver do not rise. Ultimately, they are destined for far, far higher prices than this. And one of the things that is happening right now is all of the people that use leverage. If you read my chapter, Beware the Pitfalls, there's leverage is the first thing I caution against. This is a professional's game. So if you are using margin, or gold and silver purchased on margin, if you are using futures and options, if you're using ETFs, there's a whole bunch of ways that you can be scared out of gold and silver very quickly, and this is one of the things that causes the roller coaster effect. But you got to stop measuring your wealth in dollars and start measuring it in ounces. This goes up and down. I have been buying during this entire bull market, and I have bought on these peaks, and I don't care. Let me show you something right here. This is gold, and this is from early 2002 through the end of 2003. When I first started buying gold, the very first time that I went in to a dealer and I bought a bunch of gold eagles and stuff, I bought at 315 in October of 2002. So I bought way down here. And then immediately, the day after I bought, gold started to rise. And it started going up and up and up, and it's going past 325. And I'm going, should I buy? No, 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 I'll wait for a pullback. Should I buy now? And it rises, and it rose all the way to 392. And I went in on that day and made a purchase of gold right on that peak. The very next day, it starts to fall, and it didn't stop until it fell all the way down to 325, and it took close to a year to get back into new highs. And I punished myself for that entire year. But you know what? I would give anything to go back and make that same mistake 100-fold today. I would go all in on that peak right now if I could go back and do that. And here's one thing I know. If you look at what they're doing to the US dollar, ultimately, gold and silver have to be at far, far higher valuations. They're just buying, the amount of stuff that they purchase today is too little. They have to go to far higher prices. The dollar is sick, and we've got a maniac named Ben Bernanke running the Federal Reserve, intent on trying to save the economy by destroying the dollar, which will destroy the economy. So if you're thinking about selling, think twice. I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do. What you do is ultimately up to you. But for myself, I am still buying, and I am hoping for an even greater pullback than this. This, on a percentage basis that we're going through right now, is not as great as the pullbacks of 2004 and the pullback of 2008. The pullback in 2008 from 21 down to below 9, that was thrilling. But guess what? I was able to buy down on that. Even though I bought up at this peak, if you take the same amount of money and you buy on a peak, and then you take the same amount of money a few months later, dollars, and you buy on a dip, you're going to get a whole lot more ounces on that dip. So these pullbacks are just other buying opportunities. And the people that call tops, you know, it's doing people a disservice if I try to call a top and say, now is not the time to buy. Because there's going to come a day where this goes north and it doesn't stop. And if you don't have,